What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers officially have their team intact, ready to go. Now, they do still have one open roster spot. They very likely will fill that at some point to bring in kind of a vet minimum guy off of a buyout or one of these free agents that are available. There's several guys that I think make a ton of sense for the Lakers already. You know, Chris Dort, Torrey Craig, guys like that. But I imagine the Lakers will be patient. Right? I think the Lakers will kind of take their time, evaluate. You kind of already have your kind of core 8-9 guys. I think the Lakers will take their time, kind of evaluate, see how does this team look? How's this team operating? What do we really need? Jackson Hayes able to play that backup role? Or do we really need kind of another better center, right? Maybe we're bringing in Trey Jemison. Maybe we're bringing in another piece, right? Do we really need like a 3-and-D wing? Or do we need more of kind of like a 6'6" to 6'7" kind of guard wing type? Right? Like all these things I'm sure that the Lakers are going to figure out. But the big question is, of course, now, got Luka, got Dorian Finney-Smith, got Mark Williams, pair that with LeBron, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent. You kept your core intact, your main core. You maintain flexibility going forward because a lot of those guys become free agents or expiring contracts next season, and you still have 2 pick swaps and a second plus whatever else becomes available in the offseason, right? And we saw how valuable and important expiring contracts are. So don't be surprised the Lakers are able to make some crafty moves next year even also. But are they a title contender? Can the Lakers hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy and give the bird to all the haters and we're celebrating and getting the parade finally? Yes, but we should be patient, right? Never count out Luka and LeBron James, right? Those 2 guys alone can win you a playoff series or 2, right? Like those 2 guys alone could probably get you the conference finals. Luka has done more with less than what he has right now, right? And you got to keep in mind, LeBron James is by far the greatest player Luka has ever played with and likely ever will play with. It's just, can they figure it out, right? This team, I really want to say, is a title contender. But there's a couple things we need to kind of evaluate and see first, right? I do think that they have the talent. I do think that they have the pieces. I do think that this is a team that very well could be winning the NBA championship this year, right? I don't think they're just like light years better than everybody, but I thought they had a puncher's chance before all this stuff. I think for sure they should be in the conversation, right? I could see the Lakers being at worst top 7 team in the league or whatever, right? This version of this team is better and has a higher ceiling, in my opinion, than the previous regime. Right? So with Anthony Davis and LeBron James and the team we had, even with, let's say, even after the Dorian Finney-Smith trade, right? Like that version, that team, I think had far less of a chance with that than the current team we have now. Because Mark Williams, I think, is going to solve a lot of the things that you lost with Anthony Davis. I'm not saying he's Anthony Davis. Obviously, Anthony Davis is ridiculous. But Luka is better, and the best version of Luka and the consistency that Luka provides, right, is better than Anthony Davis. So you get all of the defensive and rebounding and, interior stuff that you got from Anthony Davis. Again, he's not even as good defensively, but he still is going to give you a lot of that same stuff. And then now you have Luka, who's just better playoff performer, better overall player, all of those things, right? Don't get me wrong. I've said this a million times, and I stand by it. The best version of Anthony Davis is the best player in the league by a large margin. I mean, Jokic, Giannis, you name it, right? Because Anthony Davis is one of the only guys in the league that could go get you 40 points, 20 rebounds, dish out 5 assists, get you 3 blocks or 4 blocks with like 2 or 3 steals and just completely control both sides of the basketball. We have seen that Anthony Davis. Problem is that can at times be fewer and far between. But even like the worst version of Anthony Davis is still better than 99% of the league. He's a top 10 player in the league, right? But this version with this team and the pieces that fit around Luka and LeBron, right? Like those pieces, I just think overall this team is better structured and just fits better. Couple problems, and this is where I'm not quick to say, yes, that's it. Give the Lakers the Larry O'Brien. We still need to continue to see effort and energy. We need the defense, right? If the Lakers can give us the product 4 times a series that we saw against the Celtics, the Knicks, and the Clippers, go watch those games, particularly on the defensive side of things. If that Laker team shows up, and 2 of those games without Anthony Davis, right? If the team we saw in those games shows up, and you add in Luka, and you add in Mark Williams, the Lakers are a top 3 to 5 team in the league at worst. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the best team in the league. That defense, they were ranked second in defense during that stretch, during the last 10 games. You give me that defense, you give me that team that's a top 5 defense, Lakers are going to be the best offense, if not top 3 worst. If you're telling me Lakers are going to be top 5 offense and defense, which though that effort was that team, and you still have Jared Vanderbilt, you still have Dorian Finney-Smith, who becomes so much more crucial for this team, so important for this team. Not just that, but Jared Vanderbilt's only going to get better. That version with Luka and Mark Williams, without a doubt, are hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy. It's just, can they put that together 4 games a series, right? We've seen the Lakers be very inconsistent. Now, these last 11 games, they've been great. So they're 9-11, right? They've been very consistent. But to me, 11 games doesn't negate the previous 33 or whatever it was, right? You need to continue to play that effort. You need to continue to do that and provide that. Couple other things is particularly LeBron and Luca. I don't doubt that they can work, but A, how well can they work? Because just because it works doesn't mean it's working to the level that you need to win a championship. How well can it work? And 2, is there a redundancy? And also the possibility that, it doesn't work. But also, what is the best version of both guys, right? Like, that is something that I think we need to see. How do they fit around these guys? Is there kind of this power show? To me, it boils down to LeBron. You let Luka be Luka, and LeBron figures it out, right? Because this is also what LeBron's been begging for years, right? Get a guy that can handle the on-ball duties, that can handle all of the pressure, that can really be the number 1 guy. LeBron wants to be the second guy. LeBron wants to be off ball. He wants to play more off ball. He wants to, he's still going to go get his 20, 25, right? You can always have a Luka, always have a LeBron on the court at all times. It's beautiful. No other team in the league has that, right? So you always have, the offense, again, is always going to be good because there's a lot of problems, right? LeBron goes to the bench and the offense just terrible. You're not going to have that issue when you have Luka, right? So this team is going to be very good at the game of basketball, but to what degree? And again, LeBron's going to have to sacrifice and do what is necessary for the betterment of this team if it's really going to work. I'm sure Luka's going to make some sacrifices, but LeBron's the one that's really going to have to, hey, I will work around you. You do your thing. I will work around you. It's probably how this is going to have to go. But also, to be fair, if Luka was going to adjust and make slight changes to anybody, it would be LeBron. LeBron has never, probably in his life, played with somebody that is arguably better than him. Luka, in his life, has never played, more likely than not, with anybody arguably better than him. I mean, the guy was a pro at 13 and winning Euro championships and stuff. He was a prodigy out the gate. He was LeBron James in Europe, right? So you got 2 guys that have never been in this situation, probably ever in their lives, and are now coming together. So if anybody was going to make the sacrifice for each other, it would be for each other, right? Like LeBron and Luka sacrificing for each other. If they can figure that out, this team is going to be very formidable. Don't be shocked if there's a little bit of a learning curve, right? More likely than not, there probably will be. You just incorporated 6 new guys, right? And then on top of that, Luka. It is harder to integrate a superstar than it is a role guy. Dorian Finney-Smith came in and was immediately impactful, led our team in plus minus, and it was wow, this is great. Why? Because it's hey, the role you've played your entire career? Yeah, do that just, for us, right? It's easy. But Luka, who's a superstar, who's used to being the guy, being on ball, doing X, Y, and Z, who also is the most ball-dominant, high-usage player in history, it's very difficult. There's going to be a learning curve. And look, maybe it's not. Maybe there's just a match made in heaven and it works out perfectly. That's always a possibility. But I'm just trying to calm expectations. Might be a little bit of a learning curve. And then also, there's probably going to be some experimentation with the lineups, right? JJ's probably going to, okay, how does this? Luckily, what works with LeBron works with Luka. But there's new guys that are intricate. Like, how does this work? Does this guy work better with LeBron, or does this guy work better with Luka, or do they both work the same? Right? You're gonna get some weird lineups at times, I'm sure, just to try to work some stuff out, figure some stuff out. Don't be surprised if they lose a game or two that they should have won just because of the struggle. My hope is that Luka and LeBron are so good that they'll still be able to win those games, right? Like, we've seen it even this year with the Lakers, where it's just like, ooh, how did the Lakers win that game? That was not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, right? Like, that did not go well, right? Like, and the Lakers pulled that out. Good for them, right? I could see a couple games like that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think the Lakers are a bona fide contender? Again, I believe yes. I believe that there is the path there more now than ever. Right? I think there is a genuine argument the Lakers could win the NBA championship this year. I just want to see a few things before I crown them. Hey, Lakers are winning the Larry O'Brien trophy, right? Cooler heads prevail. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. If you enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.